Hi everybody, come on in. We're going to have 3 short videos in 3 different places this morning. See what I'm doing when it's too hot to do anything else on the patio. And we're going to do a repot in the kitchen, and now we're on this patio. Now right now in the shade it's probably still about 65, 67, and it's early in the morning. It's about 20 after 9. We get up at about 6 o'clock. Now sometimes it's even 5:30. I know, did you hear that? 5:30. I know, but sometimes we do. But then on a Monday morning, we always have lots to do, and we always have a big breakfast. This morning I had 2 eggs, a lamb burger. I mush it all up in hard-boiled eggs, mush it all up, and I put a little bit of ketchup with no sugar on it. And I have a cup of dandy tea. It's from dandelions. I forget what it's called, but I like it. It's almost like coffee, really. And I had that with my breakfast. And sometimes we have a peach or something, but this morning we didn't. I have a piece of toast. I make my own buns out of quinoa flour, teff flour, and eggs, and I forget what else is in there, but sometimes I change the flour to teff to local buckwheat flour I get, and I toast them. I like them kind of crisp with my eggs. So Jack had a half a steak, and he had an egg, and yeah, we eat a big breakfast, and then we get busy. It was Mom's shower morning this morning, got her all ready to go for the day, and then because we're under a heat dome again, get the chores done early. Now some mornings we have time to walk Maggie, but don't say that word. Don't say that word. No, because this morning we didn't. We had other chores to do. We've been working at removing the raspberries all down the thing, the fence line. They're all gone, just a bit every day. We got her done. Jack went out and pulled the posts that held them up this morning, and I went around and watered everything by hand because we can't sprinkle. And basically here in Salmon Arm, I mean, you may look at our local weather, and sometimes other places will get rain, but we don't. We have had not more than 1 day a month of rain since April. That is not enough. The lake is going dry. They're warning people with boats to be careful because it levels down so low. And we're all on very strict watering restrictions, and even the orchids. But because of the heat dome, and this room is over 100 every day. Even on a not too hot day, it can reach 100, but it goes way over 100. And you might ask, well, how are they surviving? Well, in the house, I think because we get smart and shut things up early, and we don't have air conditioning, but we have the swamp cooler and fans, the house can go in the 90s, but downstairs, Mom is good. It's always cooler downstairs. But here it is hot, and I haven't moved them back in the house, mainly because even though it's hot in the day, it goes down to the 50s at night. Like, that's a big jump from real hot to the 50s at night, so they are getting to cool off. And I have noticed that I lost probably quite a few leaves, turned yellow and come off, which is understandable and normal for what they're going through. But also, I'm not panicked because lots of new leaves are coming. So I'm going to show you a close-up of those and one surprising orchid that decided to spike during this. Now, as you know, when my spikes die down, I usually trim them off close to the medium. But the last couple years, only if I think a plant is really healthy. I have left, for curiosity, I have left the spike on. And I wanted to see, what would happen. Now, I believe it draws a lot of energy from the plant. So any orchid I think has not got healthy leaves and roots, I try not to leave the spike on. But some die back. The orchid does use them. Some don't. Some stay green. One has a spike this long coming off it. Wait till you see it. It's been out here the whole time with over 100 every day. And I am watering at least twice a week. Today they actually got an extra watering because they are warning everybody to stay in and stay cool. And I guess, I'm doing the watering and I'm thinking, you got to be really thankful for what we have every day and enjoy it and rejoice in it. Show how happy you are you have what you have. Because as you know, in Hawaii, and please find time to pray for all those people, some of them have been left with nothing. We all know what's happened, and I think we could take time to say a little prayer for them. But just be thankful for who you have in your life, what you have in your life, and another day to enjoy. Now, it may not be the day that we expect or want, but it is beautiful out. It's just hot and dry. It's like Arizona. It's like living maybe in Arizona. I hope we still get winter. Anyway, I want to show you a close-up of these orchids and the one that's in spike. And then we'll go off to another spot in the house. So let's do that, and thanks for joining me, and just doing our best during this hot weather. Okay, let's show a close-up of these. Now, if you remember in the freeze, in the winter I lost one dendrobium, and this is Dendrobium Oriental Smile Fantasy. This one just blossomed so much, but as you can see down in here, I got little babies coming, and I'm leaving them because I can use them. So I know there's two. There's another one over here. So there's two there. They just decided to give me babies, but this was loaded with blooms. Even though the other orchid froze, this one, for some reason, had the strength to carry on. So that one's doing good. Now these were two that weren't so good. I put them together in this pot, and I love my traffic cones. And you can tell I just gave them a dribble of water, and not a lot, just some is even still dry, just a dribble to tease them till Wednesday, which is watering day. But you can see new shoots and new leaves. And down here, one of my older ones in the Monet pot, still doing good. And up another level, this is a new leaf. And Georgia Pearl, her last leaf is coming good. And this was a struggling leaf, you can tell by the look. Now these two one day we'll be doing a video. I'm going to have to pull them out. They've got two leaves going here. This one already lost one, and I'm not that happy. It's got new leaves, but I think I should check and see what's going on in this one. So then down here I have one with a new leaf coming. The leaves are firm and healthy. It is losing one, but it's a strange year. Okay, this is the one with the spike. Has a new leaf coming. This is the last leaf. These leaves are all very healthy. They love the traffic cone. That's an original leaf from when I got it. So these are firm and healthy, lots of roots. But up we go, and look at this. I can't believe that it's decided to do this in this weather. I really can't. It's in the traffic cone. And in the back there's a traffic cone. This one may lose this leaf eventually, but it's been a leaf that was all bent when I first got it, and it won't bother me too much, but I'll let it get the energy from it. It's got lots of good root growth. It has a spike it hasn't had to use up. The new leaf is good. And at the top, I'll let you have, this is the one, of course, I just repotted, and I did spill water in here this morning, but it's on cement, this floor, so it used to be a patio. So, that nice new leaf there. This one I water, and because the hole is so low, it just comes right back out. So even through this weather, this one has got one new leaf this year and another one. It's grew two. And I think this might be beautiful come spring. I've been patiently waiting. Down here, this orchid has not used up any of the spike I left. Another traffic cone. The roots are looking good. And they're just wound all around. Another one here. Another leaf coming. So basically they're doing good. And here we have a screen open day and night. Day and night. All the way, every window has a screen which is open all the time. Okay. Okay, Maggie, we better head off to the next area. So here we are in the patio. As you can see, we have slightly smoky and blue sky. The smoke is coming from forest fires in Kamloops, and that's where our daughter Rosemary lives. Peak of town in the distance. And I sit here and we close these. Right now the windows are open, letting a cool breeze, the last cool breeze of the day, come in. And I sit here and I am painting. Now this is the picture it's my picture I really liked. I wanted to paint. And I'm learning pan pastels. It's my second picture. And I'm adding a few extra fish in the bottom of my picture. So I'm also blending some acrylic. All I've ever used is acrylic paint. I've never used any kind of pastels. So I haven't put any pencils. I haven't done the fine detail work, but I'm just getting the base of the picture formed. So I sit here in our nice new addition that used to be the cool patio that even now would not be cool. And we have a new heater there. It's gas. And it looks like a wood heater, beautiful when it's going. And then Maggie is always right here by my side. So that is about what's happening in the patio. So now we are off to the kitchen to repot an orchid. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back. Here we are. A little bit of show and tell first. I went out to the greenhouse this morning, picked another cantaloupe. Now, we did get one out of the garden. It was smaller. But the ones in the greenhouse, because it's even hotter, cantaloupes, they're just beautiful. They're sweet and delicious. So that's nice. And Now it's show and tell with orchids. So I have another spike coming on tying blue jay. She didn't get a name tag when I got her. From Georgia, sent me this from Roehampton Orchids. And look at the leaves and a beautiful spike. Tying Shin Blue Jay. I think I have it in writing somewhere, but I just wanted to do a quick show and tell on that today. So we'll put her there. And Alfinia is still giving me flowers one after the other. Through all this heat, and these pots dry out so fast, but she's getting twice a week watering and misting. So I haven't misted today, but there's another flower coming, and she's amazing. Okay, we'll put her there. Now, garage sale on the weekend, and there's very few because of this weather, like very few, 3 I think. But anyway, one garage sale had these pots. Now they look terracotta, but they're plastic, made in the USA. So I washed them up. They're a little dirty. I got 2, $1 each. And the reason I got them is because those who remember, and someday you'll see these out there, we put up some terracotta lights that we got at a garage sale that threw nice lights through holes carved in the terracotta. I thought these would match out there. So next year, who knows what next year will bring. So that's my little show and tell, and it's time to get this orchid repotted. And I'll tell you why I picked this one. I have Falsogo Vivian, and the reason is she's in another one of these cocoa fiber mats, which they loved when I first put them in them, but they start to get messy. And as you know, I'm starting to really like these glass dishes, and I picked this up at the thrift store for, there's the little, the holes Jack took cut out. So he drilled me some holes, and I got 3 holes, and they're just about this high, just at a good spot where I don't have to use a lot of weight to tip them and the water will run. And I like this. It was $1 at the thrift store or less. I can't remember. It wasn't next to nothing. And I thought, well, she would like that in there. And they seem to be liking it in there, and time will tell further. But the other advantage, because you have to look at this, takes up a very narrow space. This has to drain over a bowl the same size as it. And then it has water for humidity, which I always have something under them with water for humidity. Well, in these, I save they have a bit of a water well because they don't have the hole right in the bottom. So it has a bit of a water well for humidity. So other than the misting, I don't have to worry about that. And space it's going to take up on my shelf is a lot less, more room for more orchids. So anyway, we're going to do that. I had to have a stand for it, but you know, these things all will come in use for something else. They can be hung outside with a plant in them, and so there's never a problem with that. So we'll take the stand, and let's have a look and see how she looks. And she hasn't been watered. Watering day is Wednesday, and probably pretty dry in there. A little, I might say, cooler on the bottom. And now I'm going to show you this the bark is still pretty good. I do have some new bark, but I think because I do not overwater and there's nothing in my mix but the bark, I have found my bark lasts a long time, doesn't decay as quickly. There's an odd bit of lava rock, which I do use sometimes, but not very much, a couple pieces. So I'm going to show you with air. What happens with the cocoa fiber is they get holes, and it just wears in some places. But here's how it was doing in here. And let me just carefully try and get the roots out. Poor little thing. Yeah, you're gonna love your new home. I just carefully pull those roots out of there. There. I think I got it. Oh, there's one in the bottom. It's growing through there. Oh, one more. Oh, that one's a little. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think it's going to love its new home. Don't you think so? I do. I do. So you can see why this starts to break down. Yeah, you can see. And it's happened. But nothing is wasted. This makes good compost. And I'm going to think of something else. So nothing gets wasted. And then, okay, let's have a look. Because they're growing in dry, oh, there is one little spot, I think, where it was going through the cocoa fiber. But the rest is fine. I leave the bark on the ones where it sticks, and there's one little leaf here. There's a nice new shoot. There's this can be cut off now. These are from the old flowers. And of course, I don't have my scissors with me, so I'm going to get that later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put that, I've got some bark soaking. I'm going to put the plant in with the bark. And I have, as usual, I have seaweed extract and Kelly Magic in the bark that's soaking for 3 days. So it's in a bucket in the sink, and the plant's going to soak in that for a minute. Here I rinsed off some black lava rock for the bottom. Now, I was having trouble getting charcoal. And I forgot it. I gotta go get it. I always forget something, don't I? No proper planning. Wow, there was a pair of scissors right beside the charcoal. There. You know, Jack, he listens to everything. He knew I needed charcoal, and he ordered some online. So, horticultural charcoal, certified for even organic use. So, what I haven't done in the other ones that do have a water well, because I didn't have charcoal, is I didn't use it. But anywhere where you're having water sitting, and I can always make sure that's always refreshed every time I dip it. So I don't have water sitting all the time. But it does not hurt to add a little charcoal to the bottom. There. So that if water does sit, it doesn't become stinky. It sweetens the mix. It can be added to soil to improve drainage, air circulation, and remove harmful impurities. So when I do repot those other ones, the catasetum, it'll get repotted. I'm going to, in future, make sure I do put the charcoal in the bottom. So we have some charcoal and black lava rock. And I'm putting that into about where the hole is, so that the bark isn't going to plug up the holes, and neither is this. It's got little holes in it, and it's a good precaution. Well, there's only a couple left in there. You may as well use it all. There we go. Okay, so you know this bark, and I could show you a handful of it. It's really not that bad. I mean, it's been in this pot for quite a while, and I don't date things. I'm not a good record keeper. No. Hey, I'm a Gemini, and I'm not a good list maker. I make grocery lists and go to the store without them. There's always a list going on the fridge, but I'm not a good list maker. My lists are in my head, and it's all projects I want to do. But anyway, so we got the plant ready to go, and I think we'll use the new bark that I just did. This bark is actually quite fine, and I can use it. I'm planting less in the big vegetable garden, easier things to look after, going to fruit and stuff. And I'm having such success with my great big flower pots where I put tomatoes and lettuce. I just go pick my lettuce outside. Where the raspberries were, it'll all be gravel, easy keep, with big pots, so I can put all things I want to get for the kitchen. Radishes, just easy to pick, and they grow so nice in the big pots. So, and I don't have to bend over so far to weed. I'm planning ahead. Anyway, in here I'm not advertising any kind of thing. I don't drink, seldom, extremely seldom I have a beer these days. So there, that little soak. Now we see nice little tips and a healthy little plant. And I do have the scissors here, and if I put them over a flame for just a minute, I can trim those things off. They're not my pruning scissors, but okay. Ooh, hot. There we go. I'll show you where. I still leave a little bit because you don't want anything crawling down. I mean, they're pretty dry. I could take more, but I always, I guess, err on the side of caution. So the poor little thing, see, it's a perfect size little pot for it. And the flowers can hang over. I think this is going to be really nice. So, bark. One more good handful. Whoop. Okay, now we're going to put all those little roots in there. I don't know if there was an aerial root there per se, but they're all fairly near the surface right now. I'll get it sort of centered, and you know, when you do an experiment, it's not something that really shows up right away, but how do things work over time? How does the new thing work over time in your life too, you know, like those hanging plastic pop bottles. Well, great for outside or somewhere where they're not, you don't have to worry about them tipping, but not handy for how I grow on windowsills. So you have to find something that suits you, suits your plants, makes room for more plants. And I am finding they like these because we are so dry. Even on normal years, we are dry, but we still could have it rain for 2-3 weeks in June or July. I mean, really, no rain. So anyway, I'm going to give you a little close-up. There is her new home. I have to make a new tag too. I don't know what happened. Her tag disappeared. Oh, not this one, the other one. There. To make a new tag for this other one. So anyway, isn't that nice? So we got lots of fruit. We got lots of tomatoes. We're thankful for what we have. And we're all together. Mom and Jack and I and Maggie, we're all together. And our children come visit us. So I'm thankful that they have their own lives and they're growing in their own way. And we have ours, and we're still doing what we love to do. So make sure you take time to do what you love to do today, because I'm going to paint. Bye for now.